Hey guys, so I ordered a new toy off of Temu, a rolling sharpener. I don't know if you guys have seen these. There's so many of them out there now. Um, the reason I got this one is because of the number of discs that it came with. It has, let's see, 240, 400. These are separate discs, by the way, magnetic. So 240, 400, 600, 1000, 1500, 2000, and then we go to these magnets are pretty good actually. Then we go to 3000 and 5000, and then 8000 and 10,000 grit. And it even comes with a leather plate for stropping, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'm going to try it on my Chicago Cutlery Santoku. I'm going to start with a 1500 because, quite frankly, this has a pretty decent edge on it already. I mean, that's decent. But I want to see, like, you can kind of hear, like, it's pretty clean, but I can still feel a little bit of pull on the paper. So I want to see if I can get it even cleaner without the pull. So we're going to start with the 1500 grit, then we're going to go to the 2000 grit, and then we're going to skip to the 5000, I think, and go from there. Just getting some more paper ready to test it with. Okay, so it's pretty simple to use. Like I said, these are just magnetic plates. They just snap on, and away we go. Okay, so we're going to start with a 1500 grit. And basically, you don't put a lot of pressure against the knife. You just want to up against, oh, and we're doing it at 15 degrees. I do all my own personal knives at 15 degrees. So just touch it up against there and then roll it. So we're going to do 10 passes, so that's one pass, two, rolls very nicely. So we'll do 10 passes on this side. I wonder if we got a burr off that. We did get a bit of a burr off that, so that's good. 10 passes. I got a bit of a burr. Now we'll do 5 passes, still on 1500. And then 5 passes again. And we'll do 3 passes. Yeah, a wee bit of a burr. Three passes. One pass. One pass. And half a pass for good luck. Now I'm going to guess that It's pretty smoking sharp as it is. We're going to continue anyway. This is going to be a little longer than usual video. Yeah, that made a difference. I can feel a little less pull. That's good. So now, ooh, look at that. Not paying attention, I just shaved off some skin. All right, now we're going to go to the 2000 grit, and we're going to do 10 passes. And check for a bit of a burr. Tiny burr, so that's good. That's what you're looking for. And do 10 passes. We'll go to 5. And, whoops, getting sloppy there. We'll go to 5 again. We'll go to 2. We're not taking off much material now. One thing I like about this set is it comes with a 240 grit for taking off material. So if you're reprofiling a knife, so if you're taking it from 20 to 15 or 15 to 20 with the 240 grit, it'll happen a lot faster than, say, a 2000 grit, right? So another 2 passes. And then 1 pass. Pardon me. 1 pass. And half a pass for good luck. All right, let's check that out. See if that made a difference. Definitely. You can almost curl the paper. Very nice. Okay. So instead of going even finer, what I'm going to do now is strop it using the disc. So now, funny thing is, when you're stropping, you always do edge trailing. So you're pulling with the edge. So if this is the edge, if we're using this as a strop, if that's the edge, you're pulling, so it's edge trailing. If I was going this way, it'd be edge leading, and I'd cut my belt in half, which would be no good, no bueno. So we're going to use the stropping disc. Now, again, like I said, when you're stropping, you want to use edge trailing. So what I'm going to do, instead of having the disc flat against the knife, I'm going to turn it slightly so that the leading edge is away from the blade, right? And we're going to do 1, whoops, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to do the same thing. Again, we're going to keep the leading edge away from the knife. 5 passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's it for stropping. Because all the stropping is doing, so even if we're using the 10,000 grit, there's still, under a microscope, you're going to find a tiny, tiny burr. And what the strop does is it kind of straightens that burr out, so it takes, so you have a proper apex. Anyway, let's see what it does now. No effort. No effort at all. Well, that was because of the bend in the paper. Let's do it this way. So I'm not pulling, I'm just pulling through. And it's like butter. There you have it. My no-name brand rolling sharpener, sharpening my Chicago Cutlery Santoku to an almost I wonder if it is razor sharp. Almost, not quite razor sharp. But I don't like my knives to be quite that sharp anyway, so that sharp I like. That's a good sharpness, but razor sharp I don't need. Anyway, there you have it. Overall, if I was going to rate this thing out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. The magnets aren't quite as strong as I would like, so they do kind of slip. So, you know, the wheel's turning, they sometimes get caught. But anyway, I give 7.5, 8 out of 10. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, folks, there you have it. I'll see you next time.